Beautiful, ain't she? This is the dock of the Maid of Isle, and I'm her captain, Dan Jones. But I'm sure you already know that. Now, you've come to hear the shenanigans that we've been having around stage here. To understand all of this, you need to know that lately, during current time in Quincy, in order to make the scene change more effective for the novel work you do, Rachel and I have been asked to move the windows that they use in the novel work you do. So every night, we go down, we crawl and wait for the boys to hop up onto stage, and we take the window panes and slide them into the center. And then we go, and again, once the boys have passed, we take the steps that they use to get up, and we set them in the middle together. Like, for the longest time, for weeks, we'd just done that, and it was fairly normal. However, one afternoon, I was sitting there, I was sitting behind the stage, and I thought, this is Debbie thinking, what am I doing? I have a costume on, why aren't I in character? Accordingly, the next time we went out, again, just like before, we waited for the boys to hop up onto stage, and I went and moved the windows and crawled into the center where I met Sister Wheatley, Rachel, and we moved the steps and things where they had to be. And this time I leaned down and I said, Rachel, what are you doing under the docks? She looked around and a little bit taken aback, and she said, well, I'm spying on the boys. What are you doing under the docks? I looked around and I said, don't worry about it. Turned around and crawled back as fast as I could. I didn't think too much about it. The next day I decided to do the same thing, but I wanted to add a little bit of something to it, so it wasn't just the same thing every single time. So I took one of the ropes that we keep around the docks and slung it over my shoulder, and again crawled out behind the stage. And after the boys had passed, we placed the things where they needed to be. And again I said, Rachel, what are you doing here? It's not safe for you to be under the docks. She said, well, I came to meet you. What are you doing here? I looked at her and said, don't worry about it, and turned and crawled back like a Welsh hedgehog. These are very crude beginnings, but I began to think about all of the things that I could do to keep this story going. But we'll have to save those for another day. Thank you for joining me for the adventures of Captain Dan Jones.